Okay, you're at the Watchmen Way. March 8th, 2020. It's going to be a big week. Dow futures were already down 1,042 points at 4:30 this afternoon. That's 1,042 with 12, 14 hours to go till open. This could be the week, guys. And that's just the beginning. Oil crushed. It's just on and on and on. This is it. I mean, they're talking about arresting Obama on the 12th. This is going down, guys. This is going to be a huge week. This to the end of the month. Don't wait. If you've got the ability, the means, the assets to buy your silver and Litecoin tonight and you don't do it, it's on you. Now, I don't think, it's hard to say. I mean, the good thing is Litecoin's down to like 53 bucks, but it could jump to 100 in an hour when this thing blows up. And tomorrow might be the day. We're not going to get by Obama if it's on the 12th, which I think is what, Thursday? Yeah, it's Thursday. Friday the 13th this week, too. Yeah, Friday the 13th this week. Get ready, guys. Buckle up. Yeah, Litecoin was 53.23 at the same time. And what have I been saying for a year? What to look for, right before they're going to crash the whole thing. They're going to drive the prices down, silver and Litecoin for sure, and cryptocurrencies. But heck, gold this last week, or maybe it was on the futures tonight, over 1,700. First time since it spiked, it came back down. It was over 1,700 for the first time since 2012. 8 years. It's here, guys. It's coming. So kind of a timeline from the Anons. So the 12th, they're saying Obama's going down on the 12th. On the 16th, they're saying, where is it? They're gonna do a quarantine. They're gonna do. Well, no, the 16th they're gonna cancel local events. So around the 16th they're gonna shut everything down. You know, no concerts, no games, probably anything that attract crowds of people. They're gonna shut it down on the 16th of this month. On the 23rd, they think they're gonna roll out. 23rd. Yeah, on the 23rd they're going to go into a virus quarantine. Now this is what the Anons are saying. And then shortly after that, martial law will be declared. Telling you guys, the 30th we're supposed to go to the gold standard with a gold-backed currency, and then. There's talking about an avalanche of arrests after Obama. They're thinking that when they arrest Obama, it's going to start the mass awakening. That's going to be the event that trigger people. Because remember, I mean, everybody that's been doing this for more than a year, what's the number one thing people say when we talk about this stuff? They're never going to arrest anybody. They haven't arrested anybody. They're not going to arrest anybody. What happens when they arrest Obama? That argument goes right out the door because in their mind, we went from nothing, because they don't see any arrests right now, right, that are of any consequence to their thinking. They can't say that when Obama goes down. Then you wait to see the membership influx we get. You're going to see organizations like us explode. people looking for answers after they arrest Obama. I believe it is going to be the mass awakening because it's going to be the trigger that starts it. Boy. And they're basically saying that I think that it's not necessarily they're going to arrest Obama and then the next day go for everybody else. I think they might arrest Obama and then let the awakening gain some ground, right? I don't know, a week or two, who knows? I don't care. Once they get Obama, we know the rest of them are coming. So if it takes a week more, and it's good because it gets people woke up and on board, I'm good with taking a week or two. It's all good after that, guys. That's when we have the party. Anytime after Obama gets ready, we can have the party because that's the first finish line. And the second finish line is once we get into the recovery, because we're going to have between Obama getting arrested and the recovery phase, it might be 6 months to 2 years before we see that. And once we see that, it's clear sailing, guys. We're going to have a little bit of a rough patch. I'm thinking 6 months. I hope it's not more than a year. I mean, legitimately, it could drag out a couple of years, but it all depends on President Trump. If he's as ready as I think he is, that's why I'm saying 6 months, because I think he's ready for this. And if he is ready for this, it won't take 2 years to get turned around because we'll be on it. He'll be on it from day one instead of fumbling around like you would expect to see in normal situations, right? Just like Lehman Sunday, everything is crashing. The oil, the VIX, the stock market. So the VIX, and a lot of people don't know, it's short for the Chicago Options Exchange Volatility Index. It's a measure used to track volatility on the S&P 500 index. So basically, what they do is they look at the prices over a 30-day period to get the rating. And anything over 30 is considered volatile, and anything below 20 is considered calm. It's in the 30s. I don't have the exact number here, I don't think, but just for example, Brent crude oil, 31% drop. $33 on Sunday. Listen, break even is over $50. These guys got to get $50 just to break even. It's selling $17 a barrel less than their break even. And I actually think for the shale, which most of our oil is coming out of shale, it's even higher. So, for tomorrow night, I'll maybe dig into it a little more, depending on what happens with the market. But it might not make any difference because if the stock market blows off 3,000 or 4,000 points tomorrow, get ready for a big slide. I've been saying 50% from the start of a week or 10 days ago when this kind of all started. 6 weeks from then, I believe that the market would be 50% down. I think it's going to hit it. It's looking real good that it will. Yeah, it's just one thing after another, guys. Today we had the biggest one-day drop on Brent crude in history. You think something's up? Dr. Richard Hatchett. He is the architect of our national pandemic strategy. This is the most frightening disease I've ever encountered in my career. That's what he's saying. That's a headline in Zero Hedge. And you wonder why people are panicked when you got the guy who's supposed to be in charge of, managing something like this. He's basically got people jumping off a cliff. Worst ever. It's a joke, guys. There is zero evidence to suggest that this virus is anything close to what they're making it out to be. This is 100% engineered event with a bioweapon that there's a patent on. There's a patent on this virus, and it was released 1,000 feet from a Chinese bioweapons lab that it's been traced to. I've been saying the Chinese, with I think probably President Trump's blessing, I don't know that for sure, but this is a good thing for President Trump too. It takes the only weapon really, as far as getting President Trump out of office or defeating him in the election. Their only chance, the deep state, globalists, black hats, their only chance was to beat him in the election. This is going to have zero impact. The economy, the virus is going to have zero impact on the election. Because you have to look what's coming next month. That's going to be the arrest blown wide open. That's going to be the pedophilia blown wide open. Trust me, by November, President Trump wins 90% of the vote. We don't have to campaign. If you're worried about the election, if you're focused on the election, stop it. You're wasting your time. Do something useful. Start red pilling and preparing your friends and neighbors, because there has never been a time in history when one person can have such a huge impact on their fellow citizens than right now. And it's not from working on the election that he's going to win with 90% of the vote. That election is already won, guys. Use your heads. Quit worrying about the gun grab. Quit worrying about the censorship. Quit worrying about the election. All of that garbage is going to be cleaned up in President Trump's second term. Guaranteed. What's going to put us in a better position to survive what's coming is having more of us prepared. That's the one good thing about this virus, and maybe why President Trump would have signed on with China. Look what's happening. Costco is out of toilet paper, out of water, out of sanitizer. That's Costco. It's a beautiful thing, guys. I don't care how we get people prepared. If they want to think it's a virus and that's what floats their boat, that's what gets it done, let them think it's a virus. And use that. Danielle's using that very well. Hey, look what's happening. What do you think is going to happen when it gets worse? Get your food and supplies now. Get your Litecoin and silver now. Get your ammunition now. Your medical supplies now. You can't wait till this happens, because once it happens, everything changes. Prices are going to go through the roof, and you're probably not going to be able to get most of the things you need. I mean, look, it's been a couple of days, and there's been a few cases. There's 15 deaths, I think, in America, and they're out of toilet paper at Costco and sanitizer and water. What do you think is going to happen when, as this hysteria builds? And they're going to keep building it, guys, until it brings it down. And to see the futures markets down over 1,000 points already at like 4:30 this afternoon, it's going to be a big week. Because and this is just the start. There's stuff. It's coming out of the woodwork, guys. All the different. I've said there's 50 things that could trigger this collapse, this worldwide economic collapse. We're just talking about what's happening in America that's bringing it down. Around the world, countries are struggling. Everybody is at record debt. Nobody has any ammunition to fight this off. There's no reserves. The reserves got eaten up the last 10 years. That's what this last 10 years did. They dumped all the money to their buddies, in the stock market, CEOs, big corporations, so they could buy their own stock to keep the market propped up. And what it cost us, they destroyed our pension funds because they went to 0% interest around most of the world. We were close at just over 1%, virtually 0%. You can't survive. Pension funds can't survive with less than 8%. They need 8% just to break even. It's impossible to get 8% when the interest rate is 0 or 1%. You can't, it's impossible. So what they've done is the pension funds have been eroded over the last 12 years, since '08, because they just kept dumping the money in, keeping the interest rates down, which was great for all their cronies, but it killed our pensions. You think you got a pension? Think again. That's one of the reasons you need to get physical silver and Litecoin today. Not tomorrow. You need to get it today. By tomorrow afternoon, it could be too late. If the stock market dumps 10,000 points tomorrow, forget it. You're probably not going to be able to get Litecoin or silver. Now, I don't think that's going to happen tomorrow, but it could. Why gamble? Get it tonight. Don't take a chance. I mean, I kind of hope it holds on here. I got a big check coming in from my disability, like 25 or 26,000. I'd like to put some of that into some more Litecoin. Hopefully, and I'm going to, it's just going to be how much am I going to have to pay for it in a couple of weeks. And I'm afraid it's not going to be $53. It's probably going to be more like $153 in 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, it's going to be tough, guys. And nobody's going to be selling when the prices are going up $5 and $10 a day. And that's what's going to happen once this trigger is pulled. Morgan Stanley says the markets will struggle until the Fed launches an official QE program. The unofficial program isn't working anymore. So now they've got to declare an official program to save us. It's not going to save us. There's nothing they can do. There's not much money left. You keep pouring more money into it, it's just going to cause hyperinflation. There's nothing they can do. It's over. They print more money, they're done. They don't print money, they're done. And it's all good, guys. We should be celebrating this, especially Watchmen, because this is what we've been waiting for, guys. This is what we've been waiting for. For me, for 5 years. Long time coming. But it's going to be a great day. But what we still want to do is every day until it happens, we want to keep pushing because every person matters. We're getting more people every day. It's amazing what's going on out there. I mean, the people are starting to wake up. They're starting to see it, especially the ones that have been kind of on the fringe. They pop in every couple of days to the Watchmen, maybe check us once a week. Well, now they're here almost every day, and they're paying attention. And they're telling all their friends, too. So, it's all good, guys. Oh, wait a minute. Chinese piglet prices. Chinese big on pork. Record highs today because of the virus. The virus disruptions. It's everywhere you look, guys. It's carnage. Where are we at here? Okay, let's see what we got for questions. Who we got here? Oh, let's. Jeannie, how you doing? Joy, hello. Tommy, cousin Bill. Cousin Bill's got Litecoin and silver. Jeannie, how you doing? Trevor, I know Rita's got Litecoin and silver. Rita's husband's going to have a wake up call here this week. Scott, how you doing? Sally, hello. Sandy, hello. Susan, Natalie, how you doing? William, hello. Linda, how are you? Patty, hello. Carmen, Lisa, how are you? Karen and Chad, how you guys doing? Frank, Michael, is that my nephew? Is that my nephew, Michael? How you doing, Michael? Mindy, how are you? Jeremy, what's up? Jeremy shared again. Keep sharing, guys. Here's our Canadian friend. Danny, what's up? Danny's living in his igloo, the North Pole. Shit, I'm 30 miles south of Red Bluff, and I'm cold, and it's not snowing. Carrie, how you doing? Wayne, what's up? Ruth, hello. Mansfield, Michael, Amber, how you guys doing? Yeah, Dan Scavino, Ivanka Trump, and then you got the Q. I mean, there's a lot of people out there uh, dropping breadcrumbs and giving us hints. Chris, what you doing? Gary, what's up? Tina, hello. Gary's aunt couldn't get paper products in Florida. Margaret, how you doing? Oh, also, a lot of military action going on, guys. They got helicopters flying all over. Military helicopters that look like they're fully armed. Uh, I think they're positioning. We had the on Highway 15 just north of Vegas. We had the activity at the Nevada National Guard base there, and I think what they're doing is they're setting up the communications for martial law. It's going down, guys. Margaret, Susan, how are you? Tony and Rory, how you doing? Gary can get all the paper products he wants at the university. Okay, guys, put your orders in. Gary's going to ship it out of the university. Cryptos are down like we expected. Going to be going up real quick. Benny, how you doing? Russ, how are you? Gary got all of his cryptos off the exchange. That's a good move. Everybody remember now, everybody who has Litecoin, and everybody should have Litecoin by now, you also need your Ledger Nano S. Would somebody put the website up there? Gary or Lisa, put the website up for Ledger, please. Your Ledger is like a thumb drive. What you're going to do when you get that, you're going to program it, and then you're going to transfer your Litecoin from Coinbase onto your Ledger. As long as you keep your seed code secure, it's unhackable, 100% secure. Dana, what's up? But you got to get your Ledger because there's a chance that these exchanges could collapse too. I don't think it'll happen the first week or two, but get your Ledgers now. Don't wait. Randy, what's up? Becky, how you doing? Tessie, hello. Mike. Pete. Mike had a hard time finding the chat. I'll tell you, the numbers are going up, but they seem like they're making it harder and harder on us for people to find us. Well, the gold-backed currency is going to come out. They're just going to roll it out. The dollar's going down. and then there'll probably be a period where you're going to be able to exchange cash for it. I don't know what that time frame is going to be. I would imagine at least a month, but I don't know. I mean, it might be a short period because they might want to just get it done. And listen, there's nothing more they'd love because these drug cartels have billions of cash spread out across the world. And they would love for them not to be able to cash that stuff in. So they might shorten it, make it a 2-week period or something. We'll see how it plays out. And it won't be any different, guys. It's going to be just like for us, it won't be any different than using the money that we're already using, the US dollar that we're using, only that this dollar has got gold backing it up. So it's not going to collapse. It can't collapse because they can't print any more because they got to pay with the gold, right? So, like I said, if we'd had gold backed currency, we wouldn't be in this spot because they couldn't have printed the money that they printed. Once they went to fiat dollars where they didn't need gold to back it, they could print as much as they wanted. And that's what put us in this boat. China and Russia also have gold-backed currencies coming out, guys. Everybody's ahead of the game. All of the elites in the world know it's coming. All the governments in the world know this is coming. Deb, how you doing? Old high school friend? My daughter is saying the African swine flu is what's causing the problem with the pork in China. She should know. They're going to declare martial law because they're going to have, well, for one, they want to control where people are going. I think they're going to shut everything down. I think they're going to be like curfews, and it's going to be, I think, again, this is another smokescreen. They're going to claim it's to control the virus, but really what they want to do is control Antifa and Soros's crew from causing any disruptions. That's going to be the main purpose of martial law. They're not going to say that, I don't think. I think they're going to blame it on the virus. We'll see. But martial law is not a bad thing, guys. Don't fear martial law. If Hillary was elected, if Hillary was president, yeah, get your guns out. But not with President Trump. Nothing to interfere with President Trump and martial law. SD Bullion or JM Bullion. Gary, would you post the websites for Coinbase too? And all of the websites are going to be posted, guys. You got to buy tonight. Don't wait till tomorrow. You're probably going to be okay tomorrow, but we know you're okay tonight. And trust me, Litecoin probably isn't going to be $53 tomorrow. Gary saying, Gary, coronavirus came from the Chinese government. That's where coronavirus came from. And there's a patent on it in America. So it didn't come. What the problem we have right now with the outbreak that started in China, that wasn't caused by bats, guys. All right. So everything that we've been talking about, that I've been talking about for 5 years, is going to happen, I think, in the next 6 weeks. I think we're going to get the worldwide economic collapse, the draining of the swamp, and the exposure of the satanic pedophiles are all going to be between now and the end of April. Don't procrastinate. I say it almost every day, but guys, there aren't many days left. So if you haven't done what you need to do, I can't stress enough. You know, and this isn't fear porn, guys, because I do not think this is going to go worst case scenario in America. I think there's a possibility for millions to die around the world when this goes down, when it all plays out, but not in America. Because we've got President Trump, and he is really, truly working for the American people. Most other countries aren't. You know, most of them have globalist governments or globalist leadership. I think the two of the best countries going to get through this are going to be Russia and America. And America by far. But I think Putin's prepared for this too. Putin's no dummy. And you can bet him and President Trump talk more than people know. Putin, in my mind, is a good ally. He's not a globalist. He understands. He was the first country to throw Rothschild out. Rothschild actually has an arrest warrant in Russia against him. He threw the central bank out of Russia. I mean, they would murder. If they could murder Putin, the deep state, the globalists, they would. Trust me. Same with President Trump. They're the top two guys, right, that the globalists would want to take down. Because they're the ones fighting the hardest against the globalist agenda. That's a good thing for us. It's a good thing for the Russians. But we have to prepare for the worst. Worst case scenario, power goes out, means there's no water. Stores are out of food. The banks close. That's worst case scenario. You're going to have rioting and looting in the streets probably. If it goes worst case, it would be really tough to make it work. And I don't think the power is going to go out for any length of time. You know, we might have outages, but I don't expect it to be days or weeks at a time. And as long as that doesn't happen, we'll be okay on water. I think President Trump will keep food in the grocery stores. It's going to take a big effort because what's going to probably happen is the supply chains are going to come to a halt. These trucks, all these semis you see on the freeways, it costs a lot of money to run those rigs. I mean, it's $500 to $1,000 to fill them up. They don't have that cash in those rigs. They're paying with credit cards. What do you think happens when the credit cards don't work anymore? Those trucks stop moving. President Trump, I think, is on top of it. I think he's going to use the military to do what he has to do. I don't think anybody in America is going to starve, but you may not be able to get food every day. You know, you might go hungry for a few days. You want to put your family through that? I mean, there's no reason to put your family through that. You're a jackass if you do put your family through that because, you know, unless you just don't have the resources. I understand that. If you just can't do it. But almost everybody, you got to buy groceries, right? And at this point, you almost want to start putting this stuff on your credit cards because the bottom line is a reset is coming. And your credit card debt is going to be wiped out along with your mortgage, along with your car payment. Now, you're also going to lose your bank account and your pension fund and 80% of the value of your home. But with Litecoin and physical silver, you'll make up 100 times what you lost. One Litecoin is $53. $53.23 before I came on. Some analysts believe it'll be $3 million in 4 years by 2024. I think that number's conservative. Cryptocurrencies are the future of money. Cryptocurrencies make banks obsolete. You don't need banks with cryptocurrencies. At a time when the world is going to be looking to hang bankers. Because what's going to come out of all this is how badly these banksters have ripped us off the last 100 years. It's trillions of dollars, guys. Trillions of dollars they've stolen from us. From people around the world. And it's all coming out. So, you think people are ever going to want to put their money in banks again? And listen, guys, you do what you want. I've got $50 in the bank. I keep an average of $50 in the bank. Because I don't want the banks to get a dime more than that. All of my liquid assets are in physical silver and Litecoin. And I sell Litecoin, transfer it from Coinbase to my bank account. As long as I make the transaction by 7 in the morning, it's in my account that afternoon. Now, that's probably going to change a little bit when everything blows up, but everything's going to change. So you're going to expect there's going to be delays in everything you do. And you're not going to be able to get your money out of the bank. Because look what's happened in every country that's gone through this. Bank holidays. Look what happened in Greece. You were limited to, 100 euros or, you can't take your money out, limited amounts. How's that going to work? Get it out now. At least get the cash out. Now, the cash will be good for a while, but you got to get Litecoin. Just think about it. Think about if I'm half right. And remember, guys, this isn't me. This is coming from God. God showed me physical silver. God showed me Litecoin as a way to protect ourselves from the economic collapse. To protect ourselves, our families, and remember, as of 2 months ago, that as Watchmen, we are all committed to taking a portion of our profits to now, as God has directed. God asked me and the Watchmen to lead the revival of his church called The Way, the church that Jesus taught 2,000 years ago. Look it up. The most pure form of religion in the world today. Tell the truth every time. Do the right thing every time. Live your life in the service of others. I can't take this, Lisa. I'm not sure what's going on. Why Lisa would be calling me in the middle of it. Gary, will you call Lisa and see what's going on? I can't answer that now. It must be an emergency, though. Where was I? Oh, boy. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. They couldn't find us. There you go. Lisa couldn't find us. Okay. Back to Litecoin. We're headed into the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. Just think about paying $54 for something that's going to return $3 million in 4 years. Greatest transfer of wealth in human history. Headed into man's greatest accomplishment, which is defeating this evil that's run our world since Babylon. And then man's greatest age, 1,000 years of peace and prosperity. That's what's coming. That's what God showed me. There's nothing to fear here. This is all great news if you're prepared, if you have extra food, extra water, medical supplies, ammo, physical silver, and Litecoin. Now, and adjust that depending on your skill set, where you live, what you need. People that are prepared are going to thrive. They're going to thrive through this rough patch we have coming, and then it's going to explode for people after the recovery. Because, guys, they're saying Bitcoin is going to be 300,000 in 2020. Run the numbers. Eventually, whenever it levels, Litecoin is going to end up being about 25% of Bitcoin. And I think eventually it's going to surpass Bitcoin because I believe Litecoin is more valuable than Bitcoin. It's more versatile. It's the coin that people will pick over Bitcoin as a mass adoption in using it for payment. Bitcoin's slower. It's more expensive. Litecoin is going to be what most people use to transact with. And I think that's just going to make it more valuable. It's faster than Bitcoin, not as secure, but listen, with the ledgers, it's unhackable. It's 10 times more secure than your bank accounts are, or maybe 100 times more. And you see that, almost every week a bank gets hacked. Don't wait. Don't wait. I tell the story about my ex-father-in-law. Great guy. Was a colonel in the Marines, was a hero in the Second World War, came back from the war and went to work for the LA Unified School District. And one of his jobs was in purchasing when he was starting out. It was in, I think, the late 40s. He met knew Ray Kroc. Ray Kroc at that time was selling milkshake machines. So he would come to him, every few weeks. They buy him for the cafeterias in the schools. So he got to know him fairly well. Well, when Kroc was negotiating the deal on McDonald's, he went to my ex-father-in-law and asked him to get in. For $1,500, he could have been in on the ground floor of McDonald's. He had the money, and he didn't do it. He would have been a billionaire probably by the time that I met him in the 70s. He kicked himself for the rest of his life. It was the biggest regret in his life, missing that boat. I'm telling you, anybody who's listening to this, you're going to be that same way. If you don't take advantage of this, in a year, you're going to kick yourself in the ass and you're going to regret it the rest of your life. Because this is the biggest opportunity in human history. This has never happened up to this point. This will never happen again in history. Greatest transfer of wealth in human history. Do you want to be a part of it? Or you want to be a lamb and sit on the side and watch everybody else make the money and cry about it? Everybody, $20 could change your life. If you got $25 right now, that's over $1 million. You got $20 is over $1 million in 4 years based on these predictions. And again, I think they're conservative, guys. There's only 84 million Litecoin in the whole world. That's all there will ever be. They can't produce any more. 64 million have already been sold. And who knows? I mean, that was from weeks ago, that number. Who knows how many really are left? It's less than 20 million in a planet of 7.5 billion people. Less than 2% of the world even knows about cryptocurrencies. What do you think is going to happen when 7 billion people find out that that's what they need? That's coming. That day is coming, maybe this month. Don't miss the boat. Don't do this to your family. Listen, don't have Starbucks for a month. Don't buy beer for a month. Don't buy cigarettes for a month. Everybody can put together $20 or $50 or $100. Whatever you can do, that's what you need to be doing right now. And don't forget the silver. For the people on a small budget, say you got $100, put half of it in Litecoin, maybe 3/4 of it, and then the rest in 1964 older dimes. Get them on the bullion websites. Go into the section, the tab that says junk silver. That's where you're going to get your dimes. I recommend $300 to $500 a piece. Everybody should have $300 to $500 worth of dimes. If you don't have that money, get what you can. The dimes are going to be really good in case we go worst case scenario. You'll be able to use that to barter with. In Venezuela, about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, 1 ounce of silver, now this is a country that was starving, 1 ounce of silver bought enough food to feed a family of 4 for 6 months. You want silver. Dimes are best because everybody knows what a 1964 older, it's 90% silver. Everybody knows it. Within a week, everybody on the streets is going to know what that dime is worth on the streets. It could be close to $100. That's why you want dimes, because if you have a 1 ounce round, if a dime is worth $100, that 1 ounce round is going to be worth close to $1,000. How are you going to get a loaf of bread with $1,000 coin? Nobody's going to have change. That's why you got to have dimes. You can also trim the dimes. Anybody doing business, if the banks close, is going to have scales to measure silver and gold. You can trim those dimes with tin snips so you can get your own change. You're not going to be dependent on who's ever, because what's going to happen is they don't have change and you want what they got, they're going to keep your change or you ain't getting what you got. That's why you want dimes. You can trim them down. You can't do that with a 1 ounce round. I mean, you can file it, but you can't clip it like that. They're too thick. They're too heavy. So get the dimes. That's going to be good. If it goes worst case, again, I don't think it's going to go. And then if you've got the dimes afterward, silver's going to be $1,000 by the end of this year. So it's just a great investment. You know, if you don't need it, you're going to be able to cash it in for a lot more money than you paid for it. Because I think they're about $1.20, around $1.30 a piece probably right now. Well, now with these prices, might be $1.25 a piece. They're $1.25 a piece and probably going to be worth $100 within 3 months, 6 months. Pretty good investment. Okay, let me see if we got any more questions here. Think about it, guys. If Litecoin hits 100,000, are you going to complain? You know, look at. I don't know. I've never had an opportunity like this in my lifetime. I've got a college education. I've had some great jobs throughout my career, but I've never had an opportunity for my family like this. There has never been an opportunity like this. Take advantage. Yeah, Gary. Yeah, you do your taxes on Litecoin and silver. You worry about that right now. I'm not worried about my taxes on hundreds of millions of dollars if these estimates are correct. That's the worst of your worries, or the least of your worries. Yeah, well, we'll worry about that. I'm not gonna even think about that. Daylight savings time. That's like at the bottom of my list of the things I'm worried about. Uh, Romney is a globalist. Romney's going down with the swamp. Don't even forget Romney. Did I go? Did I go to the wrong site? Is that what I did? Was that my mistake? Did I go to my personal site, Lisa? Okay, guys, listen. I'm going to clear this up right now. If ever, at 5 o'clock, if you can't find me on the Watchmen page, you got to go to my personal page. Because sometimes when I get in a rush, especially since my stroke, it's happened a couple of times now, I've gone to my personal page. And I'm not even sure I did that tonight, but that could be what the problem is. But in the future, if you go to the Watchmen and I'm not there, check my personal page. My niece, Jennifer, how you doing? Myra? Yeah, I got to go to my purse. Sorry, guys, if that was me. Uh, Myra's asking Lisa. Lisa, are you on now? Yeah, she's on. And she's not feeling too good, so. Rita's got 500 dimes. Good for you, Lisa. Rita, I'm sorry. Gary's going to start baking his own bread. Litecoin's down to 51.30 now. It dropped $2 since 4:30, guys. They're going to this is what's going to happen. They're going to knock the prices down on all the assets they can. And tonight, tomorrow morning, they're going to buy them up, and then you're going to see this whole thing blow apart, guys. It's going down. Tessie's talking to people online. Yeah. Wherever you can, guys. Phone, text, email, social media, anywhere you can. start pushing this. Mike got some silver jewelry. Good job, Mike. Keep going, guys. Don't wait. Time's short. Okay. Where are we? I think I answered all the questions. Yeah. All right. Okay. Everybody knows what we need to do. Got to be positive when you're laying this out for people. This has to happen. The economy has to come down. It has to. We've got to clean these bankers out. The swamp has to come down. The pedophiles have to be eradicated, and they will be. Anybody who's guilty of treason, anybody who's guilty of murder, I believe is going to be executed. And there's a lot of them. Hundreds of them that are going to be guilty of treason and murder. Chilling. But it has to happen. These people can't be allowed. Anybody who's torturing or murdering children, torturing and murdering children, or anybody who's a traitor to America needs to go. Not going to happen in the new world. That's another reason why God wants us to have physical silver and Litecoin, because God wants his people to control the financial systems in the next world. We saw what happened when evil controlled the money. Look what we got. And 95% of the world has no idea how bad it is, how bad it really is. Because I knew about all this stuff before I started this game. It was way worse than I thought. And I had a pretty good education on it. It's going to be crushing. Our biggest threat is not the coronavirus. It's cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is our greatest threat. And that's basically what happens when people get information and evidence that contradicts a strongly held belief. And a strongly held belief in America is our politicians would never torture and murder children. The Pope would never torture and murder children. Prince Andrew would never torture and murder children. Hillary Clinton wouldn't torture and murder children. There's video, guys. Epstein was running honeypots for the CIA and Mossad. There's thousands of hours of the most disgusting video that's ever been recorded. And it's all going to be available for us to view if we want to after these people are arrested. Think about the worst horror film you've ever seen and multiply it by 100. That's what's on those tapes. Some of the most famous people in the world. Some of the most powerful people in the world. And they're all going down. Everybody that's guilty is going to get the justice they deserve. That's what God wants. That's what President Trump wants. That's what's going to happen. I think that's a good note to end it on, guys. I'm going to leave it there for tonight. Remember, fear not. There is nothing to fear. God and President Trump are 1,000% in control. It's going to be great, guys. It's going to be awesome. Parties are going to be starting. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5 Pacific. God bless.